separations, oral agreements, written agreements we deal with.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Okay, let's move to Mad in Manchester. Uh-oh. Let's see what Mad has to say. And he or she, Mad, is saying, my father passed several years ago. I was the personal representative of the estate. My brother and his wife live in my father's former home, but the home was left to both of us. He will not pay me for my portion of the home, and he does not pay rent. I have also had to pay the delinquent property taxes on the house. What can I do to get my money, and how can I push him to pay me? From Mad in Manchester.
I'd be pretty mad. I like that. Okay, here's an example like I was just saying, Blair. This is a probate matter, but it deals with real estate. So we deal with probate issues all the time. The first thing I'd want to see is, she said she was the personal rep. I'd like to know, was the estate closed out? And also, is there a deed that's been issued from the personal representative over to either this lady and her brother? How is it deeded? Okay, that's number one. I need to know that. But in general, let's say they both own it. Let's say they were both left the property and the deed's in their name. So long as they hold the title as tenants in common, it cannot be joint with right of survivorship. The sister can actually file for a partition action to separate the property and compel a sale to get the fair market value of the property, on a sale, and then the parties would split the proceeds. But there's a much easier way to get it resolved. I mean, if they're fighting and the brother's not going to participate, he's not going to do anything to help, he's just going to live there, a partition action is going to be in order. Usually, it doesn't get that far. You threaten the partition action, people hopefully come to their senses. Sometimes they fight. It's property, real estate, and family, they all go real well together. It's the gift that keeps on giving in my world. But with regards to the brother, an easier way to do it is just to say, hey, I'm seeking contribution. We call that, the amount that this lady has advanced. She's entitled to this money, a certain portion. She can write the letter, and through an attorney, it's called a demand letter. And we can hopefully get the parties to resolve it relatively easily, okay? If he's going to refuse, the partition action is the only way to go, and it has to be filed in circuit court. It can take a little bit of time. We really don't like family members to beat each other up.
Of course.
That's not the intent. Usually they come to us, they're already fighting, so it's relatively easy. But if she's trying to salvage a relationship, an easier way to do it, even though she's mad, is to reach out to the brother with an attorney, with a demand letter saying, hey, this is what we're owed, this is what we want. Either you pay us off or we're going to go to court. That's how you do it.
And that is awkward when things, come in between with family and such, but I don't know, it's just one of those things that you can either just roll over, I guess, and let it go, or you can pursue it. But it's just like something David and I have had this conversation before. I don't understand why families do this. I don't understand why one sibling puts the other in that type of scenario. And I just always wonder, how does the family think it's going to end? Like if you come to some sort of stalemate, like, how do you think that's going to end? It's going to end in potentially a damaged relationship, and there's going to be a rift, and you just have to see the bigger picture, even if it's just for family holidays and your children and et cetera's sake,
Right. Well, when it comes to, real estate's pretty much most people's largest assets that they own or hold, and it gets very contentious. There's also a lot of emotion associated with, a former parent's home or grandparent's house. But normally it's not about the emotion, it's about the money. Yeah. And people they just want to fight over the money, and it's a large asset. And every week we get calls like this. So again, getting back to that other question that you had a while, in the previous question, it's a probate issue that went bad. I'd have to see a copy of the will. I don't even know if this lady finished the probate. Because 4 years ago, we need to know, was there a deed? Did she deed it out? There's quite a few questions, nothing major, just kind of smooth out the road a little bit to understand what happened prior to the brother moving into the house. So
Yep, exactly.
it's a good question. Sorry for Mad.
Yes. Sorry, Matt in Manchester.
Right.
But David's office can straighten this out for you.